Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today, we are going to be showcasing, debuting, if you will, a brand new top 25 stat list, which is going to be focusing on PvP percentage. How much fighting are the kingdoms doing? How much engagement are they getting from their kingdom? Which kingdoms have the most amount of PvP participation, at least when it comes to one metric? We have a bunch of new columns here on this new tab, right? Because this is the first time we're doing this. This is basically all kind of first appearances for all these people. So hopefully you enjoy this. And as always, one of the reasons I like to do things like this is because it gives me an opportunity to showcase and promote and show some love to other kingdoms that might not get as much recognition. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this one. As always, if you do, make sure you help us out. There was some thanks, because it helps out a lot. Okay. As always, if you want to get access to the public sheet, join the Discord. Link to that in the pinned comment description down below. Once you join, head over to reaction rules, select the one that has the most amount of reactions. It'll pop open the CallofDragons category for you if it hasn't, if it doesn't immediately. Head over to COD Data Stats. It's going to be the top link here. Bookmark it, pin it, save it, favorite it, whatever you do. If you'd like to get information on DataBot services, scans, etc. for your kingdom, head over to Support BN, and then you can head over here to Hero Scrolls. Link is right here, right? This is the group that I work with. I've been working with Fuzzy for over a year, right? He recently joined on their team along with some other people as well. And again, right, they've been great so far, and I'm really excited that we're back on track. If you would like to see if there's any particular kind of data that we can pull, something I might be able to cover, and you're interested, if it's something that maybe I haven't done before, feel free to let me know in the comments, because that'll allow for me to read those and see if I can then ask Fuzzy and or SEO if it's possible. Okay. Again, we're going to port everything over to the public sheet, which will be done usually around 24 hours after data here was pulled on November 7th at between 13 and 14 UTC. Here we go. Number 25, we have MFD. And one of the things I'm doing now that's new, and I thought, again, you guys let me know if you like this, if it helps, at least your visuals, is I'm highlighting basically the column that we're using to sort, right, from like low to high. So hopefully this helps as like an easier identifier, because recently when I was going through these last ones, I was like, oh man, it's just kind of there, and I have to click on it and talk about it. But if I do this for each particular tab, I feel like it makes it a little bit easier to follow along. So again, Kingdom 77, MFD, they come in at 18.37% PvP activity engagement from their kingdom as of last season. They have 169 players that hit 10 mil merits last season. They got 41 players that hit 30 mil merits and 8 over 50 mil merits. We got 142 100 mil pluses, 6 200 mil pluses, 1 300 mil plus, and they're currently in the G2 season in the AOD. They're in the G2 KVK pool in the AOD Age of Duality season, their first appearance, so welcome. If you guys like the way I'm doing the season thing too as well, I don't know if that helps or if there's any interest there, but I thought this could be like a nice, cool new way of doing it. So, okay, number 24. We got OMG Jizzle. We got 18.41% PvP activity engagement from the kingdom. We have 138 players over 10 mil. Merits, held that one in slightly. 42 people over 30 mil merits. 10 people over 50 mil merits. We have 130 players over 100 mil power, 17 over 200 mil power, and 4 over 300. Their first appearance, so welcome. We're happy to have you. Number 23, from Kingdom 387, GRZ. They're sitting at 18.51% PvP activity. We got 67 players hitting 10 mil merits last season, 16 at 30 mil, and 5 over 50 mil. They have 27 players over 100 mil, 1 over 200 mil, right again, as of the date. Keep that in mind. Number 22, Kingdom 30, we got 30 NA, sitting at 18.52% PvP activity. We have 163 people at 10 mil plus, 55 at 30 mil plus merits, and 9 that hit 50 mil merits last season. 149 players at 100 mil, 17 at 200 mil, and 3 players at 300 mil. Big numbers. Number 21, one of the newer kingdoms here. They're not a part of the G2 group. This is Kingdom 714. Ash plays here. They came in at 18.56 PvP activity percentage from their kingdom. Now, they are in, I believe it's S2. And they are going in, or sorry, they're in pre-war right now. Oh gosh, it's getting hard to hold these ones in. And so they're going to be starting season 3. Again, that's basically what that means. PW's pre-war. But welcome, happy to have you. Then we have number 20, 157 CF and B. They come in at 18.75% PvP activity percentage, and we have 51 players over, oh, excuse me, hang on, I didn't even do the other stuff over here, huh? 31 players over 10 mil merits, and 1 over 30 mil. They have 1 100 mil player there. But again, maybe I'll mention something about that at the end. CFNB, right, 18.75%. We have 51 players over 10 mil merits, 16 over 30 mil merits last season, and 5 over 50. They got 45 players over 100 mil, 1 over 200 mil. Number 19 from Kingdom 283. We got RFF sitting at 18.79% PvP activity percentage, 190 players over 10 mil merits last season, 25 over 30 mil, 5 over 50 mil, 120 players over 100 mil power, and 1 over 200 mil power. Going to number 18. From Kingdom 145, we got X sitting at 19.16 PvP activity percentage. We have 137 players over 10 mil merits last season, 40 over 30 mil merits last season, 5 over 50 mil, 127 players over 100 mil power, and 4 over 200 mil power. To number 17. We got from Kingdom 161, GDW. They're at 19.26 PvP activity percentage. They have 90 players hitting 10 mil merits last season, 16 at 30 mil, and 2 over 50 mil. 28 players over 100 mil, 1 over 200 mil power. Number 16, we got NTS, almost at the top 15. Sitting at 19.38% PvP activity percentage, we got 187 players over 10 mil merits, 62 over 30 mil, 14 over 50 mil. We have 173 players over 100 mil power, and 19 over 200 mil, and then finally 4 over 300 mil power. Pretty nice, pretty nice, pretty nice. Let me make sure I'm not, okay, good. I was like, hang on, am I confusing some stuff there? Breaking into the top 15, at number 15, Kingdom 176, EIS. 19.46 percentage for PvP activity last season. We have 198 players over 10 mil merits last season, 102 over 30 mil merits, and 16 over 50 mil merits. Nice. 195 players over 100 mil power, 40 over 200 mil power, and 6 over 300 mil. Welcome, EIS. Number 14, from Kingdom 452, VKG. 19.95% for PvP activity. 95 players over 10 mil merits last season, 20 over 30 mil, and 2 hitting 50 mil plus. Last season, we got 50 players over 100 mil, and that's it for 452 there. Let's get over to number 13. We got 668, a younger, newer kingdom. This is where Cryo plays. They sit at 20.21% PvP activity. Baller. They got 37 people hitting 10 mil merits last season, 1 at 30 mil, 1 at 40 mil, 2 players over 100 mil, and they're in season 3 right now, pre-war. They're going to be entering Season of Strife. And where I was going to go with what I said previously is for some of these younger kingdoms that are coming in, these could be potential ideal recruitment locations for you to go somewhere that, right, is still kind of low power, might be evened out a bit, might be trimmed out a bit, right, or at least, you know, not super fatty, if you will, and maybe some up-and-coming kingdoms that are showing some potential. That could also be something that maybe we talk about as well, like, you know, kingdoms that are coming out of Season 3, maybe going into pre-war. But again, right, keep in mind, any of the kingdoms on this list obviously would be, I imagine, good recruitment destinations, right, for people to go to, especially if you're looking for kingdoms that, like, you want to know which ones are willing to fight and that do fight and consistently do it and have really good activity engagement, right? This is kind of another way of looking at this list, if you will. Aside from that, at number 12, we got 345 IW1, sitting at 20.21% PvP activity. We got 179 players over 10 mil merits last season, 34 hitting 30 mil merits, 6 over 50 mil merits, and 94 players over 100 mil power. Okay, let's get to number 11, almost at the top 10. Kingdom 589, again, newer kingdom. Not an, well, I guess newer as far as higher, right? OEV, they're at 20.34% PvP activity. 10 mil players over, or 89 players over 10 mil merits last season, 24 hitting 30 mil last season, and 4 players over 50 mil merits last season. They have 38 people over 100 mil, 1 over 200 mil. And again, their season is G3. Now, G3 is not S3, right? That's to be very clear, right? This is the G3 pool in SOS, right? So you just pay attention to that distinction. At number 10, 575 War at 20.48% for PvP activity, 107 players over 10 mil merits, 15 over 30 mil, 4 over 50 mil merits. Then we have 13 people over 100 mil power. They're currently in the G3 pool in pre-war. They're about to start for their matchmaking once it hits. At number 9, 266 RAC, 20.79% PvP activity. We got 164 players hitting 10 mil merits last season, 65 at 30 mil last season, and 16 at 50 mil merits last season. They got 158 people over 100 mil, 10 over 200 mil, and 1 at 300 mil power. Let's go to number 8, 221. This is 21SW. They're at 21.54% PvP activity percentage. And we have 174 players over 10 mil merits, 48 over 30 mil, and 4 over 50 mil merits from last season. 119 players over 100 mil power, 2 over 200 mil, and 1 over 300 mil. At number 7, from Kingdom 444, SCL, they were at 21.66% for PvP activity. Great. 144 people over 10 mil merits, 31 over 30 mil, and 9 over 50 mil merits last season. 62 players over 100 mil power, and 2 over 200 mil power. Let's get to number 6, almost the top 5. Kingdom 341, NWE. They're at 21.69% for PvP activity. 138 players over 10 mil merits, 28 players over 30 mil merits, 5 over 50 mil merits last season. 73 players over 100 mil power. Welcome. Now at the top 5. At numero 5, we have Tiny Tim and his merry band of misfits. Being I for Illuminati. Naughty is in not nice. Let's call it how we see it. I hate these people. 21.75 PvP activity percent for PvP activity. I need to continue to try and say this with a straight face. Great number. Obviously for everyone pretty much on the board and anyone over, pretty much because everyone over here, I think everyone on this list is over 18%. We got 77 people over 10 mil merits, 27 people over 30 mil merits, 7 over 50 mil merits hit. We got 56 players over 100 mil power, 2 over 200 mil. Let's get to number 4. Our final 4. Kingdom 92 WAO. They're sitting at 22.77% PvP activity. Great. 172 players hit 10 mil merits last season, 68 hit 30 mil, and 22 hit 50 mil. That's the most so far. 163 players over 100 mil power, 9 over 200 mil power, and 1 over 300 mil power. Let's get to number 3, to the triangle. Kingdom 358, this is Pod. They're at 23.4% PvP activity. 160 players over 10 mil merits last season, 41 over 30 mil merits, and 7 over 50 mil merits. 51 players over 100 mil power. Now let's get to number 2. Kingdom 249, WBA, the War Beasts. 24.71% PvP activity. 202 players over 10 mil merits, 143 over 30 mil merits, and 49 over 50 mil merits. Big number, big numbers. 194 players over 100 mil power, 40 over 200 mil, and 11 over 300 mil power. And in case you're wondering, you might have guessed it already, the number 1 kingdom that is the highest activity percentage in the game from last season, or we'll just say from the recent season, is Echo. They're at 25.03%. That's a quarter of their kingdom for merits produced. It's pretty nuts. They got 162 players hitting 10 mil merits, 140 at 30 mil merits, and 47 at 50 mil merits, right? Only 2 behind WBA. 164 people at 100 mil, 44 at 200 mil, and 5 at 300 mil power. And that rounds us out for what we got for you today. Any surprises here? Were you happy to maybe see some other kingdoms included that weren't the usual suspects? And lastly, is there anything maybe different you would like for me to showcase on here on this particular list going forward? Let me know your thoughts down below. That's it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.